Alright, once again, it's time for another screen recording. This is another presentation brought to you by Casey Dofu, however you want to say it, whatever. Anyways, I just wanted to share this with you, and maybe a few other thoughts. So, first off, let's do the celebration. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner here, the man with the orange dot, I have now achieved the next milestone. And what might it be? 5,000 deliveries. You're a legend, Casey. You've delighted 5,000 hungry customers. This calls for a virtual high five. Very amusing. So there's a burger on the picture. And I shared the confetti with you. Well, there you have it. The 5,000 milestone. Now I'll tell you, this has not been an easy accomplishment. I have seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of people come and go. This is a very high turnover business. People come in thinking they're going to make a little extra money, and they do. But people that come in to become full-time drivers are few and far between from what I see. You get to know them all eventually, and some that are full-time, from what I have seen, have already disappeared. Now, I started in October of 2020, so October 9th, I believe I started, and it is now April. I'll show you here on the calendar. So continue, and now I'm past the circles. So next milestone will be the 25,000 kilometers. Sorry, I'm at 22, and that should be just a few short weeks away. Next milestone for this, Casey, you're a legend. It still says the congrats. Same thing. This calls for a virtual high five. Thank you very much, Skip. Alright, it's not changing over. I believe the next one is 10,000 deliveries. I could be wrong. So, if we go to the calendar here, I started. It is April 22nd. And if you calculate all the days that I've taken off, which is close to 1 month, or 4 weeks in total, I guess, I haven't paid attention, this would have been completed within 6 months, considering I started in October. Is this October? Oh, September, October, November. Okay, October. I signed up. I think on the 9th. That's when my business was first set up and actually registered. So, number one thing that I've learned with skipping the dish, most of you do not do it properly, as you'll see here. Number 7, no relationship of principal to agent, master to servant, employer to employee, or franchisor to franchisee is established between the parties. You acknowledge and agree that you are responsible for payment of all permits, licenses, insurance, health benefits, workers' compensation or insurance, disability benefits, employment insurance, and all taxes, including without limitation foreign, federal, state, provincial, county, and local income taxes, or amounts in lieu thereof, and interest thereon levied or based on amounts payable or paid to you by the company, excluding taxes on our net income. And you agree to indemnify the company fully in connection with any of the foregoing. So, number 8, you represent and warrant as follows. This is what I'm getting at, because from what I have learned, 98% of you are not doing this correctly. I have spoke to so many skips in my area, and I know of maybe one other in my area that has properly set up a business, and one I taught and had her get herself set up properly. I haven't spoke with her since, so I don't know if she has completed the process. But as you can see in 8, you operate as an independent business, either as a sole proprietor, partnership, or company that provides the services. You possess or have unfettered access to all the tools of the trade required to perform services pursuant to this agreement. You have obtained such permits, licenses, approvals, and authority that may be required under the laws of the territory to perform the services. You have a smartphone with an operating system, now greater than what this is stating. You will keep secure and confidential any account passwords or identification we provide you from time to time. You'll provide us with whatever proof of identity we may responsibly request. You consent to the company's completion of a check for records of criminal charges and convictions. So, any of you that have signed up for Skip the Dish or any other courier service, you have to prove that you are a legal citizen to work in Canada, or most likely the United States or wherever the services are provided, the UK, and complete a criminal record check. But what I'm getting at mostly is the independent business. You are a sole proprietor. And most people, 98% of you, have not registered a business, which is very shameful. Yes, I understand you want to get into this for extra money, but if you understand the tax system, you will set yourself up properly. As an employee, you will pay 35% in taxes off of your wages. As a sole proprietor, or a contractor, in other words, you pay 20% on the wages that you pay yourself. Now, think about this. There's a reason why I drive for Skip the Dishes and not Domino's Pizza. I'm sorry, Domino's drivers. As far as I'm concerned, you all have rocks for brains. I understand the security of having a job and having a wage handed out to you. But being a business is ultimately better, as far as I'm concerned. Because you, as a Domino's driver, provide the vehicle and the phone such as we do as a Skip the Dish contractor. But yet, I can write off the purchase of my cell phone as well as my phone bill every month. I can write off 1/4 of my rent. And if I have any utilities, I can write off 1/4 of those. Because the government expects me to have a secure place to store all of my files, such as receipts and proof of income statements. I can write off my fuel. I can write off new tires or any maintenance that's required for my car, such as car washes. Okay? I can write off health benefits. And as I read first, up at the top here, you are responsible for payment of all permits. I have a permit so that I can park in commercial parking spots. and 20-minute parking areas in the city of Victoria. Insurance, health benefits, workers' compensation. Workers' compensation protects you. You are a subcontractor, where if you work for an employer, they have to pay for workers' compensation. If you get hurt at work, you are insured and you will still get paid. As a contractor, if you do not have this and you get hurt, you don't get paid. And I've learned this through this system of people not reading their contract and getting hurt and then trying to go to skip the dish to ask for compensation. And they said, sorry, you should have read your contract. You are responsible for this. Now, going on further, with the disabilities and the benefits, employment insurance, and all taxes, this is all up to you to make sure that you complete properly. Now, as a business owner, generally you would have a fiscal year from the date that you started your business. Now, things have changed since I first set up my other company once upon a time. As a limited corporation, I believe it's automatic. But as a sole proprietorship, your year end is just like any other tax system as an employee, and you are completed your tax year at the date of December 31st unless you apply. So you would complete your taxes and then mail in an information sheet that you would print out from the government website to apply for a different fiscal year end date. This meaning that a business can have a different year end date than December 31st and do their taxes at another time of the year. But this is entirely up to you to do. And from what I have learned through this game, there are many people that don't understand business, period. Okay? One, they don't save their receipts for the purchases of fuel or even food. You can write that off as an entertainment expense. Generally, it has to be 2 meals because you need to be speaking with a business partner or somebody else that you may be looking at towards investing into something such as real estate or stocks. Okay, you can write off travel expenses if you're traveling to look to purchase a piece of property in another area if you get to that point. There's many things that can be written off, and being in business, you start to think more business minded and put your money towards these ways of writing off your lifestyle. You can write off entire vacations if it's done properly. Now, there are books that will show you and teach you this. I don't want to get too far into it. What else? There was another one that just slipped my mind. So, injuries. That was out the door. Somebody got injured, wasn't compensated. Right? Receipts. I met a guy when I first started. I think he's finished driving now, or possibly coming close to the end of it, because he hasn't. He's about to do his income taxes if he hasn't, and he didn't save receipts. So he cannot write off anything from his courier services. I went through many mishaps. I'll tell you, anybody can start and drive as a courier. Okay?